Shalom Israel. This is your brother Lamad Lakam. And before I get started, I first want to give all praise, honor, glory, worship, and esteem to Yahweh. And Yahweh only do I give my reverence to. It's so good to be back. I'm sorry I've been gone for a while, but like many of our people, I have to deal with these curses too. You know, I'm not able to escape them. I'm not able to deflect from them or anything. I'm going through life as everyone else is, but it's been on my heart to give this lesson. It should be quick. The title of this is going to be God is the author of confusion. God is the author of confusion. And many of you know my lessons generally come from dialogues that I have with different people. I don't call them out. You know, it's always my hope that the people do see the lessons, go through them, and able to take the correction, because that's the most important thing. But anyway, I'm going to go right to it and get right in it. I'm going to start first with, and I'm going to be reading from the King James Version. I'm using the Blue Letter Bible online. So I'm going to 1 Corinthians chapter 14. Now, many Christians, my Christian family, they are taught and believe that God is not the author of confusion. And this is where they get it from. It's in the New Testament. I do not subscribe to the New Testament anymore. It's been quite a few years since I've subscribed to this book. But after research and reading the Tanakh, which the world calls the Old Testament, which I think is disrespectful to call the Most High's word old, because you know we think old, we think almost like useless or it's just outdated or something like that, and we know the Most High's word stands forever. And we think new, we think it's fresh, it's forever, and things like that. So those are some of the stumbling blocks that's been laid in front of us. But anyway, without further ado, I'm going to read this verse from 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 33. It reads, "For God is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints." So it says right there in the New Testament, well, this is Paul's writings, which I don't think Paul existed. I don't think any of the New Testament is actually a real thing or of our people, a God of God's chosen. It's not a book for God's chosen people, but nonetheless it's here, and we have to deal with it to help pull people out of it. So it says, "For God is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints." For God is not the author of confusion. So now we have to question ourselves and question what we just read. Is this the truth or is it a lie? So I'm going to go right to it. Let's go to Genesis chapter 11. So if you got your own book, Genesis chapter 11, and we're going to start from the top. All right. As you see the title in this Blue Letter Bible, they titled it Universal Language, Babel, Confusion. All right. Let's see what it's all about. Genesis 11, starting in verse 1. "And the whole earth was of one language and of one speech." So everybody was speaking one language. Verse 2. "And it came to pass, as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there." So they all lived in this one place. Verse 3. "And they said to one another, Go to, let us make brick, and burn them thoroughly. And they had some brick for stone, and slime they had for mortar." Let's see what they're getting ready to do. Verse 4. "And they said, Go to, let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven. And let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the whole face of the earth." So the people are going to build a tower. They're going to build their own city. They're going to build this high tower. You know it's going to be high because they said they want to reach the top. They want to reach to heaven. And they want to make a name for themselves. And they don't want to be scattered. They want to be together. All right. So, verse 5. And Yahweh came down to see the city and the tower, which the children of men builded. So here comes the Creator to check things out. Verse 6. And Yahweh said, Behold, that means check it out. The people is one, and they have all one language. And this they begin to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. So he's looking at these people are working together, they speaking together, and they doing this thing of blasphemy. You're going to make a name for yourself. We're going to reach high into the heavens. Okay. Verse 7. Look. Right here, the Most High was speaking right here. Look, in verse 6. He said, the Lord said, Behold, the people is one. And he continues speaking in verse 7. He's not done speaking. He continues. He says, Go to, let us go down, and there confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. Now, the Most High, who's continuing to speak, is going to confound their language. All right? Here's the definition of confound, and I'm using a Merriam-Webster dictionary. If you watch my other videos, you know I like using this dictionary. It's the dictionary I grew up on. That's all. It's just warm, comforting thoughts. I read this dictionary a lot as a kid. I believe I read it completely, if I remember right. But anyway, the word confound means, as a transitive verb, to throw into confusion, to throw a person into confusion or perplexity. I'm going to stop right there. It's to throw a person into confusion. Back to Genesis chapter 11 and 7. So he's going to do what right here? Let us go down, and they're confused their language. He's going to confuse their language, which at the top, we saw this chapter is about confusion. All right, so back to verse 7. There confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. Look, the Lord said that. He came up with that idea. All right? No one else came up with that idea. So let's look. Verse 8. So Yahweh scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth, and they left off to build the city. So now he scattered them. All right. Verse 9. Therefore is the name of it called Babel. You ever heard somebody say, listen, look at that little baby babbling. Baby Babel. That's where that comes from. Therefore is the name of it called Babel. Why? Because Yahweh did there confound their language of all the earth. He confused all the languages of the earth, which is why you see these people speak this way. These people speak that way. These people speak that way. And from thence did Yahweh scatter them abroad upon the face of all the earth. All right? That's how the Most High wanted it. That's his idea. And that's what he did. Look, it says right here in verse 9, because Yahweh did there confuse the language of all the earth. Look, I use the word confused on purpose because that's what confound means. Yahweh confused the language. So when you go back to 1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 33, for God is not the author of confusion, and we go back to Genesis 11 and 9, who confused the language then? Who did that? It says right here who did it. Clearly the Most High did it. All right? And he scattered them. Okay? So that's a lie. And that's another huge reason to come out of that New Testament and come back. If you're God's people and you fit those curses, I got the video, Deuteronomy 28 video. If you fit those curses, you need to come back to our books. Come out of that lying book over there, that New Testament. Come back to the Tanakh. That's the Torah, the Nephilim, and the Ketuvim. Come back to your books, because the Most High will do that. Look, I'm going to close out with this. Like I said, I wasn't going to be before you long, but this is a quick slice to those people who lie on our Most High. I don't care if you like it or not. The Most High don't care if you like it or not. He's the author of confusion, and you just read it. Isaiah 45 and 7. He says, now I'm going to start at verse 5. Isaiah 45 and 5. I am Yahweh, and there is none else. A lot of people like to argue that. Oh, wait a minute. Who you arguing with? The Most High said there's none else. What about the Holy Spirit? What about this? What you always want the Most High to have these equals. There is none else. There is no Elohim beside me. None. See that? I girded thee. That means he covered you. He protected you. Look, though thou hast not known me. A lot of y'all lying on the Most High. You saying he's not the author of confusion. You saying he love everybody. You saying all these things that are not true because you don't know the Most High. Yet and still, he keeps your heart pumping blood. He keeps protecting you. Now you need to come back and honor him correctly. I'm going to read that again. I am Yahweh and there is none else. There is no Elohim beside me. Other than me, there's none else. See that? I girded thee, though thou hast not known me. Verse 6. That they may know from the rising of the sun and from the west that there is none beside me. So he's letting you know as sure as that sun comes up and it sets, there is none else. Have you ever lived a day and that sun didn't rise and set? All right then. There is none besides the Most High. None. I am Yahweh and there is none else. How many times does he have to say it? Verse 7. Watch these opposites that the Most High does. He does the opposites. Watch this. He's speaking in first person. I form the light and create darkness. Opposites. I make peace and create evil. See that? Opposites. I, Yahweh, do all these things. So who does peace? And who does evil? See, you all be giving credit to other entities, and he just telling you clearly who's responsible for it. If you like to watch like gangster movies, right? You had the head gangster, and he's got his hitman. Yeah, the Most High send out Satan, or like say Satan, to go do his dirty work, or put it on your butt. He'll send him out to test you. But Satan is not responsible for it. It's the Most High. So if you got confusion going on in your life, if you got some darkness in your life, here it is right here. That's who you need to go to. That's who you need to plead with. That's who you need to entreat. Right here, the Most High. Entreat with him. Because he's the one punching you in the eye. That's who's kicking you in the behind. The Most High. That's who we as a people have to plead with. Directly with the Most High. He's responsible for it. This the butt kicking we're taking. So yes, the author of confusion is our Most High. You read it with your own eyes. You can get mad at the Most High if you want to, but you just read it right here. So I'm done. Like I said, this was gonna be as quick as I could make it. I'm glad to be back on this microphone and giving you the word of the Most High. Wasn't my opinion. I didn't give you my thoughts. I didn't tell you how I feel about it. I just showed you, thus saith Yahweh. And with that, till next time, Israel, I bid you shalom.